Welcome to episode 7 of the Bankroll Challenge. We just finished up a work breakfast here at Park Casino, so I wandered up to the poker room to take a look, and they're running a small tournament. So we are in for our first ever live poker tournament. It's a $90 buy-in. Looks like they've got 27 players. That's the plan. I'm going to jump to 2-5 after, but I will see you later. Alright, we've got a multitude of hands here. The first 4 from the tournament, then we jump into some 1-3, and then finish off some 2-5 at the end of the night once the table open. With this tournament, I've been bullying the table quite a bit, built up quite a stack. Very few showdowns. People are willing to call very wide pre-flop, like they'll never fold after they limped. And then they fold pretty easily on the flop to just a raise. So we're facing a limp. We open up King 9 of diamonds to 700. And we get the big blind as well as a limper that calls. So 3 ways to a flop, which comes down pretty good. 10-10-9 rainbow. Checks to us, we're going to want to bet about $700 here, and the big blind calls. So off to a turn, which is the 4 of diamonds. I can't really think of any hands I get 3 straights from, so I'm going to check this back. It's really nice to have the flush draw as well, so check. There's a 3 of spades, he checks it to us, so we've probably got the best hand unless we're up against ace-9 here, so put in a fairly sizable bet, 2/3 pot, 2.4k, and he calls, he says he has a 9, and we are good. Okay, so we're at level 4 now, blinds are 200, 400, we have Jack 8 of clubs in mid position. Surprisingly, all 4 of these hands we were in mid position for. We bump it up to $900, and only the big blind calls, which is the same player as before. So heads up to a flop, which comes out really nice. 8-5-3 rainbow, and he leads out for half pot. I've been bullying the table, just check raising everything, so I'm waiting for like the light call downs. So we do go ahead and raise it up to $3,000. In a cash game, I would never do this. I would just call, but we're quite short, and I have been just very aggressive. He makes the call, and we're off to a turn. So the 10 of clubs, it's an okay card, 10-8 gets there, but other than that, it doesn't change too much. When he checks it over to us, he's got half pot behind. I don't really know what this bet is accomplishing. I guess we could get called by a worse 8 here. Also a better 8, but was still a little behind, and my very aggressive image, I'm just going to go for it. So I jam all in, and he wastes no time at all in folding. Nice, chipping up. Alright, blinds are now 300, 600. We're chip leading the tournament now. The under the gun player here looks like he wants to raise. Counts out raising chips, but then decides on a call. So it kind of feels like he could be trapping here, but we look down, we got pocket kings, our first premium of the tournament. We're going to bump this up to 2k. Folds back to him, and after quite a while, he does decide on a call. Nice. So heads up to a flop, which comes down 9-8-6 rainbow. Not a great flop. He checks it over to me, and here I make a mistake. With only 2 SPR, this should be a bet. I was thinking that during the hand, and then for some reason defaulted to a check, which is how I would play this in a cash game. But I don't think it's a huge mistake either way, so we go ahead and check it back. Turns the 2 of clubs, so pretty innocuous card, and he leads out for 1.5k. Nice small bet. We're definitely just going to call here, set the trap. So we do call. River comes down, the 5 of hearts, and he goes all in. A little bit over the pot, but our hand is very under-repped. I don't expect to see him with a 7 unless it was like pocket 7s. But even that, I just don't think he's going to be betting the turn that small with pocket 7s. And just based on the limp call, I can't see him having 8-7 suited or anything like that, or even ace-7 suited. So this just feels like maybe 10s, jacks, queens that are trapping, that wanted to like limp re-raise pre or something, and then didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I just toss in the call, and we get shown the pocket 2s. Ouch. Okay, very next hand. We're still busy trying to take notes, but we got under the gun raised to 1.5k, and we've got pocket 6s with 10 big blinds. It's close between a fold or a jam. I decide on a jam. Folds back to our opponent, who does make the call, and unfortunately they have pocket aces. So from chip leader to bust in just 2 hands. That's alright. It was a cheap tournament, about $90 buy-in. We got down to the final 15 of 30 players, so no payouts for this one. But we're moving to the 1-3 cash games next. Okay, we're into the 1-3 now. Button straddles live, small blind and big blind have completed, and we've got pocket queens under the gun +1. Just before I'm about to raise though, I see the player to my left. He grabs about $25 in chips and he motions as if he was going to bet. And then he doesn't see me put out the 30, grabs another $5 chip and then calls. So he's got a hand strong enough to raise here. So we do make it 30 and the player to our left calls. Everyone else folds, so we're heads up to the flop, which comes out pretty nice. 6-3-4 rainbow. This really shouldn't hit his range if he was intending to raise. So we're definitely gonna wanna bet small here, make it 25 and he calls. Off to the turn, 4 of clubs, shouldn't really hit him. Like what 4s does he have if he was gonna raise? So we wanna start playing for stacks. Looks like it's gonna be about 75 to 80% pot bet on both streets to get it all in. So we go ahead and bet $100 and he makes the call. Off to the river, pretty good card, another 6. So pocket 6s, pocket 4s are very unlikely now. If he held on with a 6, like ace-6 suited, I just don't see it. We're definitely gonna go for value here. So we bet 245 all in, and he doesn't take for long and makes the call. And doesn't show, we're good. Nice to double up this early. Okay, this is one of our last few hands at 1-3. The 2-5 is opening soon. So we've got a under the gun limp. He's quite short stacked, mid position calls, and we've got pocket 8s. We're gonna bump it up to $18. We get the button, the small blind, and the big blinds a call, and then the original limper decides to go all in for 109. Middle position gets out the way, pocket 8s and all this dead money in there. We'll only have to call like $91 to win a pot of 270. Like even if he shows us aces, it's still close-ish. If you could also have ace king, this is a slam dunk call. So we make the call, or we reshove rather, get everyone else out, and we go heads up. Flops no help, 3-3-6, 9, and 10. So if he does have ace high, we're good, but unfortunately he has pocket kings. Damn limp raising short stacks. Alright, so we jump to the 2-5. We are 5-handed here. The straddle is on. Our opponents in the button and the big blind this hand are both full-time regs. The straddler is probably a break-even player. There's one other person who's away from the table who's also likely a break-even player. So it's an okay spot. Button raises up to $30 with the $10 straddle. We've got pocket 7s in the small blind. I think I should have 3-bet this, but I just opted for a call. I mean, like, we've only got 20 or 50 big blinds. If he 4-bets, we might have to go with it, which just sucks. But anyways, the big blind does 3-bet to 85, which is really small. Button gets out the way, which I found very surprising. And then I make the call with pocket 7s. So off to a flop. Big blind's one of the full-time regs, by the way. 9-6-4 rainbow. Check it over to him. He puts in a small, very small bet, less than a quarter pot, $50. For this price, we are definitely calling. Nothing else to do here. So we make the call off to a turn, which is the 8 of hearts, giving us an open ender. We check it over to him, and he doesn't stop betting. He bets $150 here. It's a bit close, but I think with pocket 7s, we just have too many outs to fold. So we do go ahead and toss the call in, hoping for some help on the river. Doesn't come. It's a 6 of spades. We check it over to him, and he quickly goes all in. And this should be a fold. I don't know what I was doing here. I don't know. Every time I go to 2-5, I always just click the call button way more often than I should. This is not a call. No. If we were really deep, we could turn this into a bluff, but yeah, this isn't a call. But I toss in the call anyway. He's just getting such a good price, and he shows pocket kings. So we're going to lose that one and get stacked. All right, final hand of 2-5. The table's filling up, and we've got quite a few, I'd say, fun players. So the table's getting good. Middle position does happen to be one of them. He limps for $5 here. We got king, queen off on the low jack. We're going to bump this up, try and ISO him. We make it 25. Both the blinds do call, and so does the mid position. So we're off to a flop 4 ways in position, which comes down pretty sweet. King 10, 4 with 2 diamonds. The graphics are wrong. That should be king 10 deuce. Anyways, checks over to me. We're going to put in a small bet here, make it $30, and folds back to the middle position player who puts in a raise to 130. Kind of a tough spot, but I think that we can peel one here. So we do make the call, and we're off to a turn. just a 6 of spades, and he wastes no time at all and goes all in. And here I should have just reverted back to my old thought process. This guy limp called pre-flop. He doesn't have bluffs in his range. Like, he's not doing this with queen jack or diamonds. But for some reason, when I was in 2-5, I was a little bit tired. I just go, oh, you know, king queen's all right. It doesn't have diamonds. But I think even GTO wise, we should only be calling ace king plus here, because queen is not a great card. We want him to have queen jack. So I think that this could have been a fold, but I don't know. For some reason, I just become such a calling station at 2-5. This is terrible. And so I make the call, and we're off to a river. It's the 9 of clubs, and our opponent shows pocket tens. Limp call pre-flop pocket tens. Very weird. I thought he had pocket twos because the flop was king 10 deuce, and pocket twos made sense. But I did not expect to see pocket tens there. We're gonna get stacked again and lose quite big this session. But we're gonna play better next one. We're gonna take a day off or two, and yeah. That's going to be it for episode 7 here. We played very poorly today. We started this challenge off on episode 7 with $4,239. Lost $90 from the tournament. We made back $374 playing 1-3. And then during the 2-5, we lost $967 for a total loss today of $683, bringing the bankroll down to $3,556. We're still rolled to take shots at 2-5, so we will be putting in another 1 or 2 bullets tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. See you guys in episode 8.